So good morning, everybody. Welcome to George Christopher Playground, a playground that was dedicated, by the way, 50 years ago in 1971 by Mayors Alioto and Christopher. And so we're so delighted to have our very special guest, the 2021 Mayor of San Francisco. Going to say a few words in a little bit. My name's Phil Ginsberg. I'm the General Manager of your San Francisco Recreation and Park Department. And yes, this is an actual and not a virtual opening. I haven't seen, we haven't done one of these, and I haven't seen this many people in one place in about 15 months. So I'm kind of nervous and shy and not very used to it, so forgive me. But one thing that the pandemic has taught us is how essential parks and open spaces have been to our physical and mental health and well-being. Let's be honest, this project took a number of years in the making. Wasn't fully funded. We had design changes and a lot of community input and wonderful advocacy, support from a lot of different people that made this project happen. And then there was their pandemic that got in the way for about a year. And so to be here today is really wonderful. Today, we have our mayor, we have Supervisor Mandelman, we have Commissioner McDonald, and some community champions to help us celebrate. So I will be brief. This is a $5.3 million effort. The scope of the work includes a lot of different stuff that you can all see, so I'm not going to go through all of it, but I'm going to highlight two things. One are the original playground elements that you see out to your left, to my right, which really happened because of community advocacy and, a really important desire to hold on to a little bit of the past. And as we know, parks are about connecting the past to the present to the future. And thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Supervisor Mandelman, for all your support in helping us actually preserve these other elements. And then the other thing I want to highlight very quickly is the nature exploration area, which you see to my left and your right, and it kind of rambles and meanders through this beautiful space. And I'm so impressed with the work of our design, the design team, and I'm going to acknowledge people in a second. But it's an acknowledgement of just how important nature is for our kids. And to have an opportunity for all of our wonderful kids, both behind me at the Noe Valley Nursery School and here at the Eureka Valley Child Care Facility, to have them be able to touch plants, to explore nature, to get dirty, to hop and skip on these lovely wood stumps is really a treat. All right. None of these projects happen in a vacuum and happen without people. So I want to acknowledge our mayor and Supervisor Mandelman for your support and for championing this project. I also want to thank and acknowledge former District 8 supervisors, Scott Wiener and Scott Sheehy. That's how long this project was in the making. I want to acknowledge our dedicated Rec and Park commissioners under the leadership of Chairman Mark Buell and Vice Chair Eric McDonald, who's here, along with Commissioner Hallisey, who's joining us today. I also, Nick Bellani, the chair of our Parks, Recreation, Open Space Advisory Committee, is here with a fresh haircut, which he hasn't had in 15 months, along with Robert Brust, one of 2 District 8 representatives on Prozac. We have Sarah Katz-Hyman representing the San Francisco Parks Alliance. They have been outstanding partners in realizing our Let's Play SF initiative, so every child has an opportunity to enjoy a beautiful playground. And of course, all of you, all of the community members deserve the real thanks and accolades. I want to acknowledge a few people: Brianna McNulty from the Friends of George Christopher Playground, Betsy Eddy from Diamond Height Community Association. You'll hear from them a little later. Catherine Kane, Eureka Valley Arts, and Trina Perales, the property manager of Donahue Schreiber Real Estate, who also helped support this project. Thank you guys for everything. A shout out to our construction team, Mike Clancy, Barry Doherty from Treaty Construction. And it goes without saying that Rec and Park is so fortunate to have such great partners in our city, and I really want to thank and acknowledge DPW, specifically Jasmine Ka, who is the Public Works project lead on this project, and of course DPW's leader Alaric Degenfried. Sorry, I mispronounced Alaric's name. Alaric. And so without further ado, and you're going to hear from a lot of other speakers, and I'll be back to acknowledge my own staff at the event at the end. A big warm welcome for our mayor, who has really steered us through this pandemic and keeping kids in mind all along the way, Mayor Bree.
Thank you, Phil. First of all, I know we're in a playground. And there is no way, if I were a kid, that I could sit here and listen to a bunch of grown-ups talk when I wanted to play. So I'm going to say to all the kids who are here today, go ahead and play. Enjoy the playground. We can work around you because they've been waiting for a long time to be out here, not just in this playground, but playgrounds all over the city. So we got to let these kids have a good time. So feel free to play. We'll work around you because we are in a playground. We're celebrating, and we're so grateful to be here. It's been a rough year for so many of us. This pandemic has tested our city and our country and the entire world like never before. But I want to say how proud I am of San Francisco and what we've done and what you all have helped us to accomplish. And that is, even though we're one of the densest cities in the country, we had one of the lowest infection rates and one of the lowest death rates anywhere in the country. And we should be very proud of all of you and what we all did together to make this happen. Yes, yay, that's what I'm talking about. And the fact is, my playground, when I was a kid, it was Margaret Hayward Playground in the Western Addition. It was everything to me. I lived in that playground. I played every day. I slid down the slide. When the swing broke, we were creative in putting things together in order to keep the swing intact. And when I think about all the incredible work that's been done over the years with friends of this playground, with the different organizations, with the Parks Alliance, all these great advocates and people who raise private dollars to work with the city in order to make sure that we generate enough money to invest in making these playgrounds the kind of places that kids can enjoy and remember their childhood in such a fascinating way. It makes me feel so good. And I just want to say to the Rec and Park team and to Phil Ginsburg, the work that you all have done over the years to make our park some of the best anywhere in the country. You all should be proud, and we're so grateful to have a Rec and Park team. They spend so much time on taking care of the trees and the grass, and, well, sand is not at every playground, but the fact is we want to make sure that these playgrounds are in tip-top shape for our children. And I also want to say to the friends of the George Christopher Playground as well, thank you for your support, your advocacy, and your work. And you'll hear from so many people today that had a lot to do with why this playground is here. Over $5 million, over 120 jobs created during a global pandemic, and also a lot of patience from the Diamond Heights community as we dealt with the construction. I know Supervisor Mandelman probably heard it a lot from many of you, but here we are. Thank you to the kids, thank you to the families, thank you to this incredible community. Because of you, we are able to bring this playground back to life, especially as we begin to reopen our city and come back stronger than ever. Our parks and playgrounds are going to continue to play a critical role in that. And with that, I'd like to really take this opportunity. Miss Eddie, if you would come up, I have a certificate honoring your work in the Diamond Heights community. Oh. On behalf of the City and County of San Francisco, I've been vaccinated. It was okay. The president said I could take my mask off or something like this. So thank you so much for your work and your effort and for caring so much about kids in San Francisco and making sure they have this wonderful playground.
Oh, thank you so much. This is wonderful. Thank you.
And with that, I want to introduce your Supervisor, Rafael Mandelman.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I think everywhere the mayor goes for the next year, we all get to thank her for her extraordinary leadership over this horrific, horrible pandemic year. There are thousands of people who are alive in San Francisco, and we kept our hospitals open and our emergency rooms able to serve people, and this could have gone very differently. So thank you, Madam Mayor, for your tremendous leadership. This is an exciting day for District 8. It is a long time coming. I want to acknowledge an elected official who is here and a Diamond Heights neighbor, Jenny Lamb from the school board. Hey, Jenny Lamb. Getting the kids back in school. So this was a long project. This was 10 years in the making, and it happened because lots of great folks made it happen. Phil Ginsburg, thank you for all of your work, and Alaric DeGraffenried and all of your teams and the Parks Alliance and everyone. But it really happened because the community up here demanded that it happen. And Betsy Eddy just got an acknowledgement. She deserves 1,000 acknowledgements. I generally say that with respect to things having to do with Diamond Heights, if I just ask Betsy what I'm supposed to do and then I do it, I'll be in pretty good shape. Betsy's been bossing all of us around on this project for the last 10 years and has made great. The play structures are here, the saved historic play structures because of the advocacy of Betsy Eddy and Brenna McNulty, and a little ad back from my office. Betsy thought we needed some lights over by the tennis courts and said, "Supervisor, make it happen." So we did that, and we had some fights about bathrooms where she was telling us all what to do, and we are so much better for it. And then Brenna with the Friends of Christopher Park, thank you so much for all of your work on this, and to my predecessors, Senator Wiener and Supervisor Sheehy. This was a relay race, but again, the folks at Rec and Park brought it home for us, and thank you to Reem Asaf and Ann Baskerville and Jackie Ho and Lauren Chavez and Lamont Bishop and all the other people who I'm not thanking, but I should. And I do want to thank Aaron Mundy in my office, because when I say that we got stuff, actually Aaron Mundy made us get it. So thank you, Aaron Mundy, legislative aid. And with that, I'm so excited for this. I'm maybe not as excited as the kids, but this is great. Thanks everyone who got us here.
Thank you, Supervisor. And like I said, I was a little rough. So forgive me, Alaric DeGraffenried and former Supervisor Jeff Sheehy, not Scott Sheehy, and I actually overlooked our SFUSD Commissioner, Jenny Lamb. Jenny, thank you for all of your amazing partnership, and I know that you're a neighbor with 2 kids who have used this space, so this is near and dear to your heart. All right, next up, representing our Rec and Park Commission, that also very much keeps an eye on community advocacy and making sure that this project meets community needs, is our Vice Chair, Eric McDonald.
Is it afternoon? Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Here we grow again. It is so exciting to be here with you to reopen this amazing space. One of the roles that the commission plays in this process is that we listen to and review the conceptual design plans. And one of the most important elements of that is the community's vision. Ensuring that we hear your voices, hear your interests, appreciate what's important to you, and then hopefully create a design that plays back what you actually told us. So we hope that today, as we give you your park back, that it represents what you've held as vision. And we also, as we've said before, want to acknowledge it's been a long time coming. 2012 bond, 2015 beginning of conceptual designs, 2017 we finally said, yes, we think this is the right design. Then we get started, and then we have to stop, and then we got finished. And so, on behalf of the commission, our president, Mark Buell, again, we say thank you for entrusting us. As has already been done, we could not have done this without continued leadership from our Mayor Breed, continued stewardship from Supervisor Mandelman. And so today, we are pleased to give you back your park. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Commissioner. All right. As the Mayor and Supervisor Mandelman and Commissioner McDonald have noted, this is your park. It's a community-driven design, community-driven advocacy, so it's time to hear from 2 of your community leaders. I'm very honored and pleased to bring up Brianna McNulty and Betsy Eddy.
How exciting to get to speak without my mask. That's wonderful. Good afternoon, everyone, or good morning. But this is definitely an exciting day for Diamond Heights. It's an exciting day for the surrounding communities and all the children that are going to love this beautiful new playground. And I am so grateful to all the many people that work so hard to get us to this great day today. I'm grateful to Rec and Park for adding George Christopher Playground to the 2012 park bond. What happened was we noticed that this park and also Glen Canyon Park was not on the original park bond list. So Michael Rice, the former president of the Glen Park Association, and I, backed by our Diamond Heights Community Association, advocated to have us included in the 2012 park bond, and we're so grateful for that, as you can see today. And so I'm grateful for all the program managers at Rec and Park that worked with the neighborhood on the park design. Those program managers, they listened to community input and they developed their design based on that input. Matt Jasmine started off the planning, followed by Reem Assoff, who worked with Jasmine Ka to draft the park design and lead the park. And she did an important thing. She led the park through the negotiations with the Historic Preservation Commission. Then Ann Baskerville was next, and she helped convince Rec and Park to put more funding into the park. Then Jackie Ho she helped us resolve some issues that our neighborhood folks had. And then we really thank as well, besides all of them, Lauren Chavez, who expertly managed the construction for the last 1.5 years. And we also appreciate the work of Lamont Bishop, because even though he wasn't as visible to the neighborhood and to us, we knew he was behind the scenes, managing everything and making sure that the construction went well. And then I'm grateful to Alice Stroud. She was the first coordinator of Friends of Christopher Park. She was a parent with the Noe Valley Nursery School that's right behind us. So the parents and teachers there, along with the Diamond Heights Community Association, we put the Friends group together so that there would be a coordinated way to work with Rec and Park for the community input we thought that was so important. And we thank Alice Stroud. She had the vision for this imagination garden over there. And I think as Phil said, this is the first in any of our parks. And I'm grateful to Ed Scheffner for taking on the role of facilitation of Friends of Christopher Park until Brenna McNulty stepped up to the leadership. Brenna had a huge impact on the development of this park, working on the final design plans, and it was just wonderful. One of the things she did was save the 3 historic play structures that are over there, and that was convincing Supervisor Mandelman to appropriate the money for that. And then not only did Brenna create a lot of events that brought people into the park, she coordinated 2 amazing Where in the World is Christopher Park festivals. And the last festival in 2018 brought 1,400 people to this whole area. And I'm so grateful to Phil Ginsberg and Rec and Park, because Rec and Park added much more funding beyond the $2.8 million that was in the park bond. And some examples are the new fencing around the ball diamond, the paved, the resurfaced, path from Duncan Street past the community garden and then down to the park. And also, which is going to happen soon, are the new lights for the tennis court and resurfacing the tennis courts. So it was just wonderful to have all these additional things that the neighborhood had been advocating for. So I'm just immensely grateful to the Rec and Park staff, all the community voices, and everyone here who worked so hard to make this happen today. It's a great day. Thank you very much.
Brenna McNulty, the coordinator of Friends of Christopher Park, and I'm delighted to be here. This is so exciting, and so much has been said, and it's hot, so I'm actually going to trim down all my acknowledgments. But I want to emphasize that this really is a beautiful example of community-driven design, and that our District 8 offices and supervisors through the years and their staff and the Rec and Park project management staff consistently showed up, met with us, looked for funding to fund these things that were out of scope of the original project, listened to our crazy ideas. Thank you for getting these funky old sculptures inspected for safety. A thank you to Treaty Construction for very carefully excavating them and finding a place to store them during the construction phase. And thank you for really what, like I said, is a community-driven design. We really felt heard. We really felt like people were advocating along with us to get innovative with the Imagination Garden and the sculpture, maintaining swings. They heard us and came through, and we're just so grateful for this whole project team. It's a beautiful playground, an exceptionally beautiful playground, I'm going to say, in an exceptionally beautiful spot, and it's fitting. And I think for the future, for our group, we're going to keep striving to become a more inclusive group. We hope once it's safe, we can bring back the festival and showcase more of our artists and neighbors and our businesses here, and continue our mission of identifying and supporting the park needs. Thank you.
Before you go, I forgot your certificate for Friends of Christopher Park, so thank you so much for your work. All right, Phil, let's cut this ribbon.
Yes, let's cut. For all the kids that have been waiting so patiently, now is the time for the reward, so come on up. And let me just do a very, very quick shout out to my own team. They've all been mentioned before, but Tokes Ajike, who runs our Capital Division, is in here. Lauren Chavez, raise your hand. Thank you for your amazing execution of this. And now to the people who are taking care of this. Carol Ciankowski, Lisa Graves, who I see, Robert McKinney. I see an apprentice with a head cover whose face I can't see. But these are the men and women that will steward this space along with you. Thank you all very much. We have the greatest staff of any parks department in the country. And so let's cut a ribbon.